Hello, Times Crossword, let's go. A route out of India, unlikely in such peaceful surroundings. Nope. On radio, grumble is cut. On radio looks like a homophone indicator. Yeah. And grumble is moan, M-O-A-N, which sounds like M-O-W-N, which means cut. Jack's parted from brisk relative. Yeah, this is auntie. So Jack is J, the abbreviation in cards, parted or removed from brisk, jaunty. That leaves auntie, which is a relative. Hacker stood less on ceremony at first. Gosh, ceremony at first looks like wordplay to indicate the initial letter of ceremony. That would mean the definition is hacker. But I'm not sure what stood less then refers to. Child's play receives large hug. Nope. One criminal to turn in another about time. Did work against sanction. Nope. Car manufacturer lacking agreement from German. Plant. Well, agreement from German, I think, is a reference to ja, J-A, because that's German for yes. Yeah, and the car manufacturer is Jaguar. So Jaguar without J-A leaves guar, which is a plant. Each app fails with Charlie irate. Fails looks like an anagram indicator for each app. Well, that's only 7 letters. We're looking for 2 more. And although Charlie can be C, I think, I don't think it can be CH. Although, if it's a, well, I was thinking if it's a reference to King Charles, it could be CR. But then, irate, not getting that. Earth and hill reduced to dust. Meal is about over. Perplexed crowd wanting a leader to pursue expeditionary force. Nope. Very small thing inhibiting professional heavyweight. Empty vessel in the sound. In the sound, again, looks like a homophone indicator. So we're looking for a word which means empty, which sounds like a word meaning vessel. No. Affected by exposure, wife collapsing beneath a tree. No. Okay, another look at one down. Oh, first look. Play or plaything. 155. Probably begins with A. Could be I. A route out of India. Unlikely in such peaceful surroundings. Wow, what could this be beginning A blank A or I blank A? Don't know. Making sense of, plump, sort of pigeon. Nope. Rich old university cushioned by endless wealth. No. Order for building, barrio, nice houses. So houses could be a hidden indicator. So, yeah, we have ionic. So beginning with the I of barrio, we can read I-O-N-I-C, which is ionic, which is an order in architecture, hence an order for building. Cleared a cold and departed. Yeah, this is acquitted. So acquitted means cleared. A is A, cold is C, the abbreviation on taps, and departed is quitted. First to C, down, solution. No. Our quintet is playing, but this stops the flow. This is tourniquet. So is playing is an anagram indicator for our quintet. That gives tourniquet, which is something which stops the flow of blood. Okay, does this E help? First to C, down, solution. Wow, what is this? First to C, that could be the letter S, but then what two-letter word means down? I think we're looking for the first letter of a three-letter synonym of C being moved down either one place or two. Yeah, this is lie. So the C is C in the sense of the territory controlled by a bishop, and Ely, E-L-Y, is a C in England. And if we remove, or if we move the E of Ely down towards the bottom of the word, we get lie, which is a solution. Yes, this is surely away from it all. So let's see how this works. In such peaceful surroundings, I think, is the definition, away from it all. So A is A, root is way, out of India, from I is India in the NATO phonetic alphabet, unlikely is tall, as in a tall story. Making sense of, plump, well, plump is surely fat, sort of pigeon. Yeah, a homing pigeon. That gives fathoming, which means making sense of. Rich is opulent. Old is old. University is U, the abbreviation, cushioned by or contained within. Endless wealth. Well, wealth is plenty, and endless without its final Y. Hacker. Stood less on ceremony at first. Really not understanding this stood less. And ceremony at first, if that is C, suggests that it's at the beginning. Oh, wow, I think this is claymore. I don't know what claymore means. I know it's a word. I guess it's something, a tool which hacks. That's the best I can do in terms of the definition. Stood less is lay more. If you think of lying or laying as being the opposite of standing, then if you stood less, you may lay more. On ceremony at first, on the initial letter of ceremony. Play or plaything. This looks like it begins a fool's something, and it'll be the name of a play, and can also be interpreted as a plaything. Well, anything associated with a fool could be regarded as a plaything. Not getting that. One criminal to turn in another. About time. No, not getting that. Child's play receives large hug. Child could be CH. But then what's play? Don't know. Romance will flourish as with Oliver. Nope. Already looked at that. Phone and receiver clearly separate. Yeah, this is ring fenced. Oh, ring fence. So phone is ring. Receiver is fence, as in the receiver of stolen goods. That gives ring fence, which means clearly separate. Clearly separate. Okay, where to now? Earth and hill reduced to dust. This looks like it's ground something and possibly ground down. Earth is ground. Hill is down. That gives ground down, which could mean reduced to dust. Did work against sanction. I think this is took. If medicine works, it takes. So did work. Took can mean did work. Against is to, and sanction, as in to approve, is okay. Romance will flourish as with Oliver. Wow, what is this? Not getting that, and I can't get 11 across either. So I think I'm going to have to get 12 down first. Perplex. Crowd wanting leader to pursue expeditionary force. Well, the expeditionary force, I think, is BEF, the British Expeditionary Force in the Second World War. So, perplex looks like the definition. Be something. Crowd wanting leader. So I think we're looking for a 6-letter crowd. Miss out its first letter. Could this be befuddle? So, is muddle crowd? Not totally sure it is. But let's see if we get confirmation from the crossing letters. Gold tooth, perhaps. Rounder. Yeah, this is orbiter. So gold is OR, as in the tincture gold. Tooth is biter. That gives orbiter, which is something which orbits or goes round something else, hence a rounder. Following doctor's lead, I almost choose to get lump removed. Wow. Doctor's lead, I think, is the leading letter of the word doctor. I, probably I, almost choose. So I think we're looking for a 4-letter word meaning choose, and we leave out its last letter. And the whole thing is to get lump removed. Wow. You'd think that to get something removed, the word would more likely begin DE than DI. Okay, so is that the end of the downs? Have, to get name promoted immediately. This is now. Have is own. To get name, well, N is the abbreviation for name, and promoted means put higher up. So if we take the word own and we then promote, or take the letter N and move it higher up the word, we get now, which means immediately. Now, this W looks helpful. Affected by exposure. Okay, so this is weather something. Probably weather beaten. Wife, W, the abbreviation. Collapsing beneath a tree. Yeah, I think collapsing is an anagram indicator for beneath a tree. So W plus an anagram of beneath a tree gives weather beaten, which means affected by exposure. Now, the grid is separated into 2 sections. Let me look at the right hand section first, because that's the problematic one. Following doctor's lead, I almost choose to get lump removed. Almost choose. Let me see if there's any indication from 26 across as to what the initial letter may be. Empty vessel in the sound. So vessel, for example, could be urn, U-R-N, which sounds like E-A-R-N, but urn doesn't mean empty. What does mean empty? Team, void. No, but we do have an extra letter in 12 down, the N. Romance will flourish as with Oliver. Wow, what is this? Romance could be a romance novel. Aha. Oliver Cromwell is a figure from history, so I wonder if this is Cromwellian. So, I think will flourish is an anagram indicator for romance. As with Oliver. Okay, I think flourish is an anagram indicator for romance will. And then that gives Cromwellian, but does it? Romance will. Yes, it does. And Cromwellian means as with Oliver Cromwell. Okay, an orphan clue. Child's play receives large hug. Yeah, this is clinch. If something's child's play, it's easy. So a cinch, which means easy, receives large, receives L, the clothing abbreviation. That gives clinch, which means hug. Now let me pause and do my brief typo squiz. Make sure everything is as intended. I'm just checking with Moan that I've got it the right way round. Yes, I have. All the acrosses look good. Befuddle may still be wrong. Down's looking okay. Okay, so let me stick with the bottom right section because I've got an extra letter or a first letter in 26 across. Empty. Void. Vessel in the sound. Well, I don't think it is void, but if it was, well, lump removed is divot. So following doctor's lead, following the leading letter of doctor, I is I, almost choose, almost vote. That gives a divot, which is a lump removed. So void means empty. Vessel in the sound. If in the sound is a homophone indicator, then void must sound like a word which is spelled differently and means vessel. Aha, it's not void. Phew. This is vein. So vein means empty, and vessel is a blood vessel, V-E-I-N, which sounds like the answer. Now, have I really got that the right way round? Yeah, a vein in the body is V-E-I-N, and that sounds like V-A-I-N. Okay, so bottom left to go. Very small thing. Inhibiting professional heavyweight. Well, the heavyweight is probably a ton. Very small. No. In alternation, to preach Jewish law. Yeah, this is Torah. So in alternation tells us to take every other letter. So beginning with the T of two, we read T-O-R-A and H. That gives Torah, which is Jewish law. Meal is about over. Ooh. Not getting that. And this R doesn't look massively helpful. Except it is. Because I think professional is pro. So professional heavyweight is pro ton. A very small thing. Well, I guess there must be a particle called an antiproton. That would be a very small thing. Inhibiting is anti. And then professional pro heavyweight ton. Each app fails with Charlie irate. Gosh, okay. Yeah, I think this is per capita. So per capita means each, and then fails is an anagram indicator, but it applies to app, C for Charlie, and irate. Let me just check that that works. App, C, and then irate. Yes, it does. Fantastic. Okay, 3 clues to go. The final push. 13 across. One criminal to turn in another about time. Criminal often refers to con or lag, but neither seems to fit here. Criminal can also be an anagram indicator. Not getting that. And it's hard to identify the definition here because both ends of the clue look like wordplay, in particular about time, which could be about the letter T, the abbreviation for time. Oh well, we have more letters in one down. Aha, play or plaything is not a fool's anything, it is a doll's house. A play by, is it? Oh, it's not Samuel Beckett, I don't think. Okay, I don't know off the top of my head who wrote that. Is it Beckett? Don't think so. Okay, but how does the wordplay work? Well, it's the name of a play, and yeah, children have dolls' houses as toys, hence it's a plaything. So 2 orphans to finish off. One criminal to turn in another about time. Well, I can see that shoplifter fits the letter pattern, and a shoplifter is a criminal. And the whole thing could be an and-lit clue. But let me focus on the wordplay. One criminal to turn in another. Yeah, a lifer is a criminal. So another criminal about time is lifer about tea. And to turn in is to shop, as in to betray or snitch. So it's not an and-lit clue. A shoplifter is one criminal, and then to turn in is shop. Another is lifer, about time, about tea. So 1 clue to go. Meal is about over. What is this? Gosh. So, aha, phew, there is just so many words which could fit this letter pattern. But the answer is repast. A repast is a fancy word for a meal. And then about is re, Latin for about, and over is past. So there we go. Let me just revisit befuddle, just in case anything else fits this letter pattern. I wasn't totally happy with muddle being a crowd. It surely ends D. Let me just remove these letters, because it surely begins B, because we have British Expeditionary Force. Perplex. Befaddle, befiddle, befuddle, befuddle. Literally nothing else makes sense here. So there we go. Every clue solved, every clue explained. No empty squares. Submit, submit. Hope and pray. No errors. Fantastic. Wow, what a beautiful puzzle. Absolutely splendid stuff from the Times, as always. A total delight from beginning to end, and a great range of vocabulary and knowledge required. I love the shoplifter clue. You're so used to thinking of con and lag when you see the word criminal, but it can also refer to a lifer. And also here we have the obscure weapon, the claymore, and the even more obscure particle in the anti-proton, and Cromwellian was also a delightful clue. So absolutely tremendous fun. I think this was quite hard. This has been published on a public holiday in England, and I think they tend to be a little harder than normal Monday crosswords. So I would say the snitch for this probably in the 80s or 90s. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that solve. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.